Over here, please.
My name is Mohammed, and I can understand the difficulty of Mr. Sherman. If humans has no God, they'll make one because they need a God. That's human nature. My question to you, Mr. Dsouza, who created God? And if he is there, the history of man, cause of murder, is fighting over property. And the second cause of murder are religions. And I don't understand why God does not show up and stop us from killing each other. And that way we don't have this fight, your Christianity, my Islam, his Judaism, and they are all the same. The Bible, I read it in detail. I am a Muslim, and I find insist in it. Lot's daughters give him wine to get him drunk, so they sleep with him, so they can keep the blood. I didn't like it. I thought it's a human made. I think King James ordered his priests to write that. I read the Quran. I find you go to hell forever. And my medical knowledge says we as humans have these defects in our head, have these deficits in our hormones, which rages.
We need a question, my friend.
In other words, the three books are the same. They seem to me they are having defects. Tell me why people are killing themselves and killing each other because of religions. Tell me who created God. Why doesn't he show up?
Could you repeat the question? No. Well, look. I think the fact is we have the human nature we have. By the way, the Darwinian view of man and the Christian view of man, in contradistinction with what could be called the liberal view of man, the Darwinian view and the Christian view are pretty close. They take a little bit of a dim view of human nature. And if you posit free will, then you would expect that liberty or freedom, free choice, would often be used badly. And so it is in the world. I think it is an historical fact that the crimes of atheist regimes completely dwarf the crimes of not only Christian, but even bin Laden in his wildest dreams doesn't come close to killing the 100 million people that Mao in China, Stalin in Russia, Pol Pot, and others killed. All right, I want to address your first and actually, I think, harder question, who made God? I want to suggest why this is actually a bad question. Because the question of causation applies only to things that we know require a cause. If, for example, we believe that the universe was eternal, it's always been there. It's silly to ask what caused the universe because the universe has always existed. It has no cause. It always was. On the other hand, if we know the universe as a material object had a beginning, then all our human intelligence forces us to ask, how did it get here? What caused it to start going? If there was at one time nothing, how come we now have something? That's a very reasonable question. But we don't know that much through reason about the nature of God. Whether he needs a cause or not, we just don't know. It's a little bit like this. If I was to see hieroglyphics in a cave, I would say, hey, there are some signs of intelligence. Some intelligent being did this. And you might say, well, who caused him? I don't know who caused him. I don't even know who he is. All I'm doing is legitimately and logically inferring from intelligence that this was done by an intelligent being. Similarly, by looking at this universe and applying the scientific proposition that we know of no material effect that had a beginning without a cause, I'm simply saying that cause, that intelligent, super powerful being that caused this, we're going to call that God. Whether he has been there forever, whether he's existed for a short time before he made the universe, reason can't go there because we don't know that much about him. But we do know that this thing that is here requires explanation. That's the order of explanation we are reasonably capable of.
My answer would be that we are by nature xenophobic and tribal. So the dark side, call it sinful side or evil side or whatever, but that's the side that we would describe as darker, leads us to be nasty, land-grabbing, avarice, social primates in that sense. And so I don't think actually people kill in the name of atheism. Nobody killed in the name of atheism. The communists created a faux religion called Marxism and then happened to be able to gain power and use that to then do land grabbing. Hitler did the same thing, and he was a Catholic. And the SS guards had on their belt buckles, "God is with us." So fascism and Nazism is not atheism. They weren't atheists. So the bad stuff happens mainly because whether there was religion or not, whether there's a God or not, this stuff would happen anyway. So the solution has to do with politics and liberty, and you need a strong military force because that part of our nature won't change. And you need a strong constitution, and you need, well, anyway, I don't want to become Mr. All-American here because he already wrote the book about that, but we're in agreement about that.
We are?
On what's so great about America, yes.
Oh, yes,
yes.
But, and you're right that Hitler was a Catholic. He was born a Catholic, and then he became a religion hater and a God hater, and he wanted to... He
was an opportunist, as most dictators are. They'll use religion when it's convenient and not when it's not.
Okay.